Hi. Welcome to the second Kivy tutorial. In the previous tutorial we went through the Kivy installation process and made some simple apps, so if you missed that, you can watch it by clicking on the link above. In this tutorial we are going to look at the basic Kivy app layouts, then apply what we have learned in developing this image viewer application. So what is an application layout? A layout defines the structure of a user interface in your app. All elements in the layout are built using a hierarchy of view and view group objects. We are going to look at the 6 most commonly used app layouts. This is the last video on the introduction to Kivy. In the next video we will start developing full applications for mobile and desktop devices using Kivy, so subscribe to get notified when the new video is available. Let us start by looking at the anchor layout. Start by importing the required Kivy module, then import the Kivy button and the anchor layout widget. After that, create the main class, then create a build function for the UI. Inside this function, create the anchor layout and the button, then add the button to this layout. Now return the layout. Anchor layout positions its child widgets on top, left, right, bottom, or center of the layout. The size hint here sets the button size relative to the parent size. In this case, this button size is 70% in length and 50% in height of the parent layout. Now let us have a look at the box layout. Start by importing the required module, then add button and box layout widgets. Create the main class and the build function. Inside the build function, create the box layout and the button widgets, then add the button to the box layout. Return the layout. The box layout can arrange its child widgets vertically or horizontally. You can also add the spacing between widgets and the padding space. Kivy layout we are going to look at is the float layout. Import the necessary modules, then import the button and float layout widgets. Create the main class and the build function, then create the float layout and the button widgets, then add the button to the widget. In float layout, you can pass the absolute or relative position you want to place your widget. Kivy also has a grid layout. Let us have a look at how you can make one. Import the required modules plus the button and grid layout widget modules. Create the main class and the build function. Inside the build function we will create the grid layout, then add multiple buttons to this layout. The grid layout allows you to specify the number of columns and rows, the padding, and the spacing. Another layout is the page layout. Import the necessary modules and the button plus the page layout modules. Create the main class and the build function. Create the page layout, then inside this layout add the buttons. The page layout allows you to navigate through child widgets by swiping or clicking and dragging. The last layout we will be looking at is the stack layout. Import the Kivy app, then import the button and the stack layout widget modules. Create the main class and the build function. Then create the stack layout widget. You can specify the padding and spacing in the stack layout. Finally, create a for loop that will add multiple button widgets to the stack layout. I introduced this Pong game app in our last tutorial, and I promise to explain how it works. This game uses the .kv files or the Kivy language files, so in this video we will be looking at how to create the Kivy language files. For those who don't know, the Kivy language file is a file dedicated to creating the user interface for Kivy applications. It is the same as QML, or the .ui file for Qt applications. So in this video we are going to make a simple image viewer app using the .kv file, where we will also apply the concept of Kivy app layout. I have created the project folder, and inside this folder I have the main.py file. Inside the main.py I have imported the Kivy app module. This statement specifies the minimum Kivy version required. I also imported the Kivy window module, which you can use to change the app background color, but we are not going to use it. I'll show you another way you can achieve that. I also imported the images module, which we don't require for this tutorial. I also have the main class named image viewer app. Kivy will detect the class name and automatically load the .kv UI file name that matches the class name, if available. That's why I have named my .kv file image viewer.kv. Now in case you decide to put your .kv files inside a different folder, you can specify the folder name, then Kivy will search inside that folder. Because my Kivy file is inside the root directory of the project folder, we don't need to specify that. Now let us have a look at what is inside the Kivy language file. This statement specifies the minimum Kivy version. This is the main app layout, which is the box layout. And this is how you specify the app background color. Inside the main layout, I have added another box layout, which will be the header container. Inside this header, I added the button, label, and text input container. After adding the header, I also added the middle container, which is another box layout with horizontal orientation. Inside this layout, I added a stack layout, which is the left menu container. Inside this container, I added two buttons. The left menu structure is also similar to the right menu structure. Just below the left menu container I added another box layout that will hold the main content. Inside this box layout I have a page layout that houses other box layouts that contains the images. The images are loaded asynchronously in the background. After the main content we have the right menu, which is similar to the left menu. After the header container and the middle container, we have the footer container, which is also a box layout with some buttons and a label inside. After watching this tutorial, I think you are now ready to start building your own Kivy applications, and that's what we will be doing on the next video, where we will also look at the Kivy MD library. Stay tuned for that. That's all for this tutorial. If it was helpful, leave a like and share it with your friends. You've been watching Spin TV. Until next time, bye bye. And always, stay safe.